Hello, the time is 10:15 a.m. It is June 28th, 2025 to get to it. So in the last 4 minutes, it's the Taliban or Hamas or Hezbollah, one of the Muslim terror groups raging here. It's their fashion, their fighting style. The only reason why these human beings are alive is because they have been protected, literally, physically protected by the United States of America going back to Bill Clinton, 1992. Those individuals within our government that have been physically protecting Muslim terrorists out of the Middle East are and were in our U.S. armed services. That's where you're going to find everything you need to convict the U.S. citizens responsible for that. Whatever criminal charges you like, there's where they are. You will find them. They are Arabic. They are in our armed forces. They're African American. They identify themselves as Muslim. Or they were African American and identified themselves as Christian terrorists. But the main instigators within the military are Ku Klux Klan members, white nationalists, who also identify themselves as Christians. That's how they got the African Americans to join the force with the Christian terrorist movement. Ever since Bill Clinton, we have been physically, actionably protecting Middle Eastern terrorists out of the Middle East. Without the United States of America, these countries in the Middle East would not have half of the money they have now. The money they have now has caused these individuals, this group of men in the Middle East, to perceive their lives on earth as gods, as unstoppable, untouchable human beings. Within the last 5 minutes, because I opened this report with those statements that I just spoke, so the time is ticking on the clock. Tick, 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 tock. All right, since the time I stated at the intro of this report, we have one of these Middle Eastern terror groups fighting in their fashion style of banging loud like a banshee of Indians on top of a roof. They banged exactly like they are famous for. They like the fame and glory. It's not a genius at work here. They banged in this pattern. Boom. 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 And you hear this echoing off S Street, probably for about a good block. They are located right now. Well, you hear them, so it's not hard. On the roof of 1521. They are construction men. Before they did that, within 6 minutes, they were on the roof again. This is their fashion style. We can talk about why they run around roofs and bang on things later. They were on the roof of 1517. They made one big loud and they were pushed back to 1521 where they continued to bang on things. Before they banged loud at 1517, there was a scruffle, a physical combat. in the parameter of 1511. And within 2 minutes of that, I heard physical armed combat underneath my floor in 1509. So just take the locations I have just said, and you can see what I mean by being pushed back. All the way they bang on things, yeah. Before the scuffle and loud violence underneath my floor in 1509, 1511 on down. Before that was 2 rounds of chemical warfare, chemical weapons of mass destruction, which caused me to race and go diarrhea, uncontrollably going diarrhea out of the clear blue sky for no explainable reason. One of the gases was the Saudi gas. That gas was followed by bone fracture gas. Both gases caused me to go diarrhea. Both gases caused me to cry out audibly in physical pain and suffering. Before that, when I woke up, I identified a manufactured explosive device in my bathroom. Stench level 2 out of 1 through 5. I then identified another explosive manufactured device in my hallway. Stench level 4 out of 1 through 5. There are 2 today, identifiably different explosive devices in 2 identifiably different areas on the 2nd floor of 1509 S Street Northwest. The U.S. Pentagon / federal law enforcement house across the alley, that red car pulled in and out. It is now out of the driveway. That red car is the Iranian terror group. I've known that since the red car pulled in. It's Iran. They like to announce themselves in Washington, D.C. That red car is your lovely Iran. The Ayatollah who will be killed. My prediction, this is just me like everyone at home, I'm predicting, okay, is by religiously driven Muslim terrorists. They will get to him. I could be wrong, but he's not going to be on the earth. His fate is death. Yeah, we all go to the pearly gates. The Ayatollah is going to be killed. He doesn't get the luxury of living on the planet Earth as a crazed, deranged, violent Muslim terrorist into his pearly old years. No. Die for the cause, Ayatollah. Be a true jihadist. Be willing to die for it. Goodbye.